LALECHELALECHE. Parity, not patriarchy, past, present, futures. Here's we ours again, the Equinoxtrueqsz, Co-Secretary General's COCHRISTSZ. That's what we like to call ourselves and use, all of us and everyone's. Past, present, futures. But in order to connect our names to other archetypal meanings of hers and histories on this, our homes, and all our planets, past, present, futures in contact, we also call ourselves other names, such as including ever young goddesses and gods. Now, does that mean we're trying to become a pantheon above others? No, of course not. What we are delivering is divine democracies, so that all the Elohas and Elohims, all the Eli circles and arrowways, all the females and males, all the souls that God has created and wants to sustain back and forth in circles, times, and balance, and contact, can be reunited, as I say, back and forth in circles, times, and balance, and contact, reparatively to the divine feminines, and reparatively to the divine feminines and masculines, equal ye's with the I in it, back and forth in circles, times, and contact. Now, therefore, does that in any way suggest that we're trying to usurp ever-loving's authorities of the one Mother, Father, Goddess, God of the universe? No, of course not. There is only one Mother, Father, Goddess, God of the universe, ever present in all creations, including all our families and communities, all of the females and males, reparatively spelled both ways, and all the flora and fauna that Goddess God has given us to co-steward and appreciate. And we say all the families and communities back and forth in circles, times, and balance and contact, because space-time is not linear. So we also therefore says namaste, the divines within us greets the divines within yous and alls, and we says mikotuyo kosiferels. We are alls related, we are any's and alls and any's, and everyone's related, and because we know we alls are related, we cans and shells and cans comes together again back and forth in circles, times, and balance and context for heavens and this and all earths. And we also says, therefore, the delights within us greets the delights within yous and alls. Cox on pox, Haval, Chaim, Shalom, Salam, Soul, Mirapache, Ubuntu, Shvanzavad, Choose, I've done Namaste already, Jinque, all greetings of all the heritages and hues back and forth in circles, times, to matter relays, befores, after, and during's, that were divine feminines friendlies and equally divine feminines and masculines egalitarianly friendlies. And so that especially includes, of course, the great Magdalenian era, and also especially Atlantis and Thrace and Ubuntu back and forth in circles, these Vedics, Druidics, and Moors. And so we therefore call ourselves other names, such as co-white cap buffalo women's, co-changer women's, co-Iroquois, goddess clan mothers, and co-sister casinas and co-cousin brothers of the clans and gens. We call ourselves co-Skylands, co-earth women's, co-Kachinas, co-Katsinas, co-spider women's. We call ourselves co-Daganab, co-Kavki, co-Amamari, co-Avishkasars, co-Onions Buddhas, co-Zarashans, and co-Couszmic Chrisztsz. Now, don't let that word Christ intimidate you. The word Christ in ancient language is simply used, translates to anointed. Anointed for what? To do greatness and kindness and wisdoms. Reunited now back and forth in circles, times, Couszmic Chrisztsz. And how is that? Just to let go of that hierarchical patriarchy and go back to the egalitarian civilizations, reparatively the divine feminines. First a little bit of pendulum swing, and then egalitarians. Equally, 50-50. And so, therefore, we call ourselves other names, such as, so that we shall be always reborn in nativities and always risen springs, back and forth in space-time, because space-time is not linear. And so we call ourselves other names, such as co-Stellarianlies and co-Easterlarianlies. That is co-Aesterlarianlies and co-Aesterlarianlies, because we are combining the messages of Shushan, that is 50-50 promise fulfilled and delivered, with that of the Galilee, that is the Magdalens and Nazarenes equalies, the Venusians and the Marians equalies, and connecting them to their ancient heritages, especially of Atlantis, connecting them with we're entering new times too, over Iroquois, but Atlantis especially, and through Thrace and Ubuntu back and forth, circles, times, Vedic, and Druidics and Moors. And so, therefore, we call ourselves, as I say, co-Stellarianlies and co-Easterlings, closely used and all related reparatively and reparatively. Spelled both ways. And so we call ourselves very real stargates, and that's just all whole lands and secular citizens, a very real Stargate and Star Trek put together for parity, peace, culture, SEVENSZ on this and all our Earths. Sounds like a daunting task to go currently over the Stargates and the Akashic records for reborns, nativities, and always recent springs, humanities, but actually it's easily accomplished via the new millennial rule, which you can read at 5050 out at wordpress.com, and just next week read the leave in the steps for easily accomplished strategies for making us and themselves. And you'll also see a page on the website called Among the Representatives. Use, and use, because use too, cans, and shells, and cans. Join us in becoming Equinoxtrueqsz Co-Secretary General's Coast for us. And you can see our names and pictures there, and we can say all of them. We'll say some of them. We have our family trees, and yours too. We have a picture frames to symbolize that. And we start genealogically and genealogically first with our great and grandmothers, and all the Shekinahs, then all the Shekinahs of our family, all the current and past generations of females, and then equals our youngest generations, egalitarian. These are our Elohas and Elohims, LA Circus and Arrowways, and females and males. And we'll say some of their names, we can say all of them, we'll say some of them. We have, of course, you're going to say, and Queen Esther, and all of the Iroquois, goddess clan mothers, and all sister Couszmic and co-cousin brothers, equal yeast of the clans and gens. We have, of course, our co-white kept Bethlehem, and so more currently, we have Lydia Costanza, Barbara Herschel, and Virginia and Linda Valentry New Times. And we have our co-white Catholic women. We have Myrtle Rosemary and Pearl, and especially Mount Patricia Sunflowers, and equally so Martha Myrtles and Sophia, and we sing in crickets and Loris and so equally some more there. We have our Ubuntu's families. We have our Rishis and Myers. We have Leon Gaella and Golgi and Cecil and some more there. And we have, of course, our Lights families, our Bonnies and Sylvies, lots more there. And our Estelarian families. We have our Hannah's and Allen's, lots more there. And of course, our Nurse and George, our Hearts, our Australian Libertia, Venezians and Marians, Victorians, Magdalenes, and Nazarenes, Australian Libertians, especially as Harry and Radiant Rain, as Harriet, Clary, Jubilee, and Jacqueline, Precious Antoinette, Mrs. Ralph, Maria, Robert Rapper, and the greats, all the greats restored, and Dorothy's teaching learners, the last of the wisdom, Jenny and Lenny, and Jenny, and the Gaia families, Rachel, Wolf, the Stargate families, Barbara's lots more there. Our current generations of females, we have our Esther's and Rachel's and Marie's and Julia and Ezekiel, He's and Diaz Divines, Barbara's, Jenny's, lots more there. And our youngest generations, we have our Earth's Angelines, also, we have our April's Arisen as Earth's Angelines, also taking the window with Edith. So we have 600,000, so Mr. Twitus, we have, Rosa's Risen, I say that already, we have, Lighting Leaves with Trians, of course, we have, 600,000, so Mr. Twitus, Hesper's Noel's, lots more there, especially our beloved Vanessa Salia, Hannes Wesley, equally our young couples, our young men, we have, Hadassah and Glenels, Lee and Ross, Minchin and John, Blessed Bows and Wars are Comingsz, always always AS Terrorlies, always AEs Terrorlies, always relatedly sins, La Leche, purity, not patriarchy, past, present, futures, ever ye's blessings.